Brand new background, same gimmick, new intro. Hi guys, and welcome back to P-Myth Gaming. It's been a while, but I've been working behind the scenes to get this show back up and running. Hopefully it's going to be bigger and better than ever. There will of course be the usual rants each week, with the show arriving on Fridays now, to kickstart your weekend, naturally. But I'm hoping to pepper them with some reviews of gear and games and so on. The main area of focus will still be Nintendo for the most part. This is a Nintendo Village show after all. But now and then I may get up on my pedestal about something that's pertinent to the industry as a whole. On which note, let's talk President Trump. The leader of the free world, in his infinite wisdom, has taken aim at violent video games in the wake of some more tragic shootings in America. This is despite the fact that there is absolutely no scientific literature to back up the idea that violent video games somehow lead to violent behaviour. Some people have instead investigated whether or not violent video games instead increase aggression. But once more, the scientific literature is at best ambiguous. A few years back, Kotaku did some research, which I'll link to in the description, and detailed how there's been two major meta-analyses of the studies done on the effect of violent video games on aggressive behaviour. One study did find a link, but the other found major flaws in the execution of those studies. Interestingly, another bit of research seemed to suggest that it wasn't the violence that increased aggression, but competition. It makes sense, right? Watch any competitive sport and you're bound to see all sorts of displays of aggression, from the Kiwi rugby team's hacker to hockey players having all-out brawls. So there's no real scientific proof that violent video games lead to violent behaviour, but what about economic proof? Turns out there's none of that either. As shared on Twitter by none other than former Nintendo of America president Reggie Fils-Aimé, there is absolutely no correlation between the per capita proliferation of video games and the number of gun-related deaths. Shocking, I know. It's so damn frustrating that this needs to be refuted again and again. It's not new or original to blame violent video games when tragedies such as those that we've seen over the past few weeks occur. It's human nature to want to look for a cause of these things after all. But the truth is, there is no one cause. I'm not going to sit here as a Brit and pontificate on what America's gun laws should or shouldn't be. The cultures are entirely different when it comes to guns between our two countries, and I don't know enough about the current legislation to make any sort of recommendation on what tweaks should or shouldn't be made. But, Mr. Trump, there is absolutely no evidence to suggest that violent video games are to blame for the tragedies that we've seen. It wasn't true at Columbine, it wasn't true at Virginia Tech, despite now disbarred attorney Jack Thompson claiming that they were to blame before we even knew who the shooter was at Virginia Tech. Turned out, of course, they didn't actually own any games. And it's not true now. I myself have slaughtered countless human-shaped polygons over the years, and yet somehow have never felt the need to shoot up a school or a movie theatre. The Call of Duty series has sold 300 million copies nearly throughout its lifetime, and yet we seem to be significantly short of 300 million angry nerds with assault weapons. In fact, I get far more aggressive playing FIFA and Mario Kart than I do playing COD or GTA. Something which further backs up the idea that it's competition that leads to aggression and not violence itself. I've played hours of Mario games without feeling the need to curb stomp turtles, and I've put an inordinate amount of time into Animal Crossing New Leaf, and yet I'm still void of the urge to move into the woods and try to pay off a mortgage by selling turnips. Art may depict violence, but it doesn't lead to it. It's so annoying that we still have to spell this out. Anyway, that's enough for this first rant. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you like the new format and so on. Please let me know what you think down in the comments below. Make sure to check out the Nintendo Village. Go on the website, we've got reviews and things up there. You can watch more videos by clicking here, and you can subscribe by clicking here. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, this series will be continuing every Friday, so make sure to tune back in then, and I shall see you all next week. Bye for now.